Welcome, ghouls and girls, to this latest episode of Comic Kitchen, where we bring 5 special guests together around the campfire and tell the spookiest stories of old.
Yeah, woo, spooky.
That
Ooh,
sucks.
spooky
That was bad.
season. It's the spooky season now.
Don't
Well,
do
you
that.
know what,
Don't
you know
do
what,
that
you know what,
again.
you know what, tribe, you're bad.
You're bad. No, you're.
I know I'm bad.
I still can remember what you did in that hotel room. Don't act like just because we settled it out of court that's just settled. That's just done.
The
We're just
ghouls,
done. You're not
the
gonna
ghouls
act like
and
you're fronting
ghastly
again.
ghosts are out, guys. It's Halloween season.
Yeah, a lot
and
of
we're all monsters.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm a vampire, Dracula. I don't know what the hell.
Yeah, and I'm a fish.
Yeah, what kind of fish? What's your name?
I don't know. Creature from the Black
And
Lagoon.
Ivan.
It's Gilman, but you don't know him like that, so you're not supposed to call him that. So he's just the creature.
Yeah, that's what I just said. That's what I said. The creature.
Yeah, you don't know him like that. You don't fucking know him like that.
I'm a vampire named Blade, no relation. I don't do all the fighting stuff. I just
You
I'll be
just
chilling.
suck.
Yeah, you just like
no.
you find skinny white men to drain blood from. Make
I'm
their, like, little
not
sex
I'm
slave.
not bad. Calm down, the mummy. All right, relax. Go turn to honey or something, buddy.
Turn to honey.
Go turn to honey
I'm
is
gonna
crazy.
pour
I just
honey on
learned
you
about that the
if you
other
don't
day.
if you don't stop playing.
Oh,
Bumbot. What are you?
I am the bride of Frankenstein tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we're Frankenstein at though.
He ran out.
His bitch ass left
the
me
car
for
broke
the
down.
twink.
The car
The
broke
car
down.
broke down.
What?
You're supposed to be here, but the car broke down.
Yeah,
You're on the side of the road.
He
Some-
left me for the twink.
Some strange
He
car
says
picked
the
him up.
car- Oh, the car broke down. Oh, he's gonna go fix it, but I know he's fucking that.
I
twink
think he
down
got
the road.
kidnapped. Some strange car picked him up. I haven't seen him again.
I know he's fucking that twink down the road.
Oh, which one?
He's gone.
Is it
It's
Dracula?
that wolf bitch.
Oh,
Oh,
well, that's more of a bear
What?
than a
That's a
twink.
bear, you fucking idiot.
Nope, that's a wolf bitch if I've ever seen
No, I
it.
mean no. That's a literal bear.
That's a bear.
Like
Yeah,
like
that's
like
my
the
definition.
animal.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
well,
it's Pooh
they
Bear.
all look the same anyway.
Frankenstein,
Oh,
Frankenstein
isn't
fucking
cool.
the bear.
They all look the same. That's crazy.
They all look the same anyway.
And then how could we forget the Invisible Man, who's so
Right.
invisible and
The
that they're and
Invisible-
quiet?
They're so
Yeah.
quiet. We don't know where they are. I don't know why.
Oh, are you kidding me?
The invisible man. is like-
Invisible Man
Oh,
just
man.
disappeared.
No invisible, they just disappeared out of.
disappeared.
They
I
disappeared.
don't even know why we invited the invisible man here in like the first place. Is he like a rapist? Why did we invite him here?
That's true.
Probably a good.
The character the Invisible Man is not
Yeah,
not the person whose profile picture was.
yeah,
Yeah,
not our friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The audience is not stupid. They'll be able to pick up on that.
But hey, guys, it's us, Comic Kitchen. We're back.
Yeah, we're back.
Thank you guys so much for all the support for the last couple episodes.
Yeah,
you know,
our last episode did really well.
We did really well. We're really excited.
you
Thank you guys
came
so much
from-
for supporting it.
If you came
Go
from my
ahead.
TikTok, please like comment down below and stuff, and like please support it as much as you can because I really do love this podcast and these people, even if they hate me sometimes.
We
Yeah.
don't
Aw.
hate you.
We
I
don't
do.
hate you.
We'll just tribe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But we all read spooky comics for this season. Spooky
Yeah.
stories about scary things happening to scary people and unfortunate events
Hmm.
and
Some scary
death
fu-
and dying
scary
and blood.
ass shit.
And they all
Pumpkins
center
and
around
cats.
Halloween. Not really. For some
Not
of
really.
us.
They're
Yeah,
horror.
not really.
They're all
Horror.
horror. They're all horror comics.
They're all horror
Yeah.
related. But yeah, we'll all use stories that make you
They'll make
really
you,
scared or
and
question
they'll make
yourself.
you
and-
shiver in your boots if you're wearing boots. If you're not wearing
They'll
boots,
shiver down
your
your
cold.
You'll feel a shiver down your penis when you hear these terrifying tales.
What if the audience doesn't have a penis?
You'll have a shiver down your pussy when you hear these terrifying tales.
You shiver down your
What
spine.
if the audience is just
Yeah,
like
what
a
if- what-
can doll down there?
What if there is just a skeleton tribe?
Yeah.
We have skeletons in the
You'll feel a
audience.
shiver
You're not being
down-
very inclusive.
What about the ghosts and the
Yeah.
ghouls?
You'll feel a shiver
And the
down
bear
your
that like
your coccyx in your pelvic area when you hear these terrifying tales.
What about Ghost?
You'll feel a shiver down your something. I don't know where. When you hear these terrifying tales.
Ectoplasm?
Your sheet. Yeah, your sheet.
thought
You'll feel a shiver
ectoplasm.
down your sheet.
What about ghouls?
I don't know what a ghoul is, to be honest.
You'll
That's
feel
just like a ghost.
Nigga, ghouls like a
You'll
zombie.
feel a shiver
I was
down your
assumed, you know what I mean?
your mummified part.
Okay, actually, what is a ghoul? Ghoul, I associate ghoul like a zombie, right? That's all I thought that they had.
I always just thought they were another name.
Like an
for,
undead,
ghosts.
like undead, you know?
I always
I think it is probably more of a ghost, but I thought it was like a zombie, you know?
Yeah.
Undead
Nah.
being.
They're all the same damn devil.
Oh, that's not nice.
Yeah, you shouldn't say that.
I'm just simply saying it as it is.
Yeah, you shouldn't say that. That could be your brother-in-law or something.
I'm also voting for Donald Trump this election cycle.
Oh no shit, me too.
Okay, but the thing is, like when Bumbot says it, it's a joke.
Okay.
Tribe, we know you mean half of that with your heart.
All right.
No, that's not true. I'm gonna vote for Jill Stein actually because that's
Oh,
gonna.
guys, tell us about some of the things you've been doing for Halloween, like some spooky things you've been doing to get ready for the holiday.
I am watching a bunch of horror movies.
What you guys
I
been
am
watching?
going to hang out with my friends and go trick or treating like I'm 10 because I didn't get to go trick or treating when I was a kid, but that's a whole other story.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm gonna like rob a house and like steal all their candy and like
You should wear a scream mask while
I
you
was
do
gonna
it.
do
You know?
like funny games, but like with candy.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
But yeah, I'm currently just been watching a lot of horror movies for like the Halloween season. I've been reading a couple like horror books because this is a comic podcast, so we gotta read.
Comics.
We gotta read.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I've been watching spooky things, doing spooky. You go, Trap. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, I think what I'm gonna do for Halloween is I'm gonna hide razor blades in the candy, and I'm gonna look at pictures of Nev Campbell. I think that's about it.
Don't forget to put estrogen also. We're transing the kids also.
No,
Yeah, we're wokeifying the kids.
Yeah.
I've
I
been
don't
working.
have any.
To put in ballots for this upcoming election.
Yeah, no. I sent two of my sons to go stuff them ballots with them ballot boxes with Trump votes.
And estrogen.
I think one of them is gay.
I've been watching my Batman analog horror, guys, and my Superman analog horror,
Stop.
and my Wonder Woman analog
Stop!
horror.
No! Don't mention
I've been
analog
wa-
horror, please.
I've been watching Ambush Bug analog horror. That shit's really
Whoa,
fucking scary.
Wait, is that an actual
That's
thing?
hard. Pull it up, Ronnie. Ronnie, pull it up.
Who's Ronnie?
Editor.
He's our guy.
Oh
He's
yeah.
the guy. The guy in the
pulls
back
up-
room.
pulls out stuff for us.
Okay.
Yeah, pull it.
Yo,
pull it up,
dude,
Ronnie.
we've known like Ronnie for like fucking like what, a year now, and you didn't even know his name until right now.
I
Yeah.
never met him.
Ronnie, pull it up.
Big butt.
Russia doesn't exist. Okay.
But yeah, we're here to discuss some horror comics we've been reading.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
who wants to go first? Because some of us
I
have more
think-
to discuss than others.
I think the specter, the ghosts should decide.
Who's the ghost?
The
The
spook.
Invisible Man.
Yeah.
Oh, the Invisible Man. Oh, who you choose?
Wait, you want to go first? You want to go first? Of course you can. Yeah.
Who's the Invisible Man touching?
Invisible Man's going
Yo.
right now.
Yo,
He's
Here-
touching my cock. He's touching my cock.
Oh, the Invisible Man chose SpongeBob to go
No.
first.
Yeah, go first. What scary story do you have for us?
Tell us like
Please
we're
get
around
him
a
away from me.
campfire.
He's touching me.
Oh, we can't. He's invisible.
But we are around the campfire though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. We are around a
Very-
campfire.
well, you're so fucking forgetful, and it gets to like a point sometimes where it's like it's really annoying.
What?
You need to work on your fucking memory retention.
Man,
Who
your
am I
relationship
talking
is really
to?
strange. Your relationship is really straight after that hotel incident.
Yeah, that was like that fucked me up for a while. I couldn't like leave the house for like a month.
Oh, we've been recording
Damn,
for
he
about
really did a
15
number
minutes.
on you like that, man.
Yeah, man, that was.
We've been
I
recording for
didn't
about
think it would
15
be that
minutes.
bad. Jesus.
And we haven't said anything.
We haven't said anything about comic book.
But-
God damn it.
This is gonna be
This is gonna be
good.
great. This is gonna be great.
Keep going.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, Bumbot. What spooky story are you gonna serenade us with?
Well, let me start with a story that's been kind of controversial recently because of the recent adaptation of it. It's a little story called Uzumaki by Junji Ito.
Very little. I've never heard of it before.
Well, you
Yeah,
might have
what is
heard about
what's an anime?
The fuck? What the fuck is anime? Yeah.
Yeah, what's that?
Can you explain the concept to us?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Explain. I
well,
know what it is.
anime is when they make the drawings in the comic book move.
How though?
Wow, that's
The
amazing.
magic of animation.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
that
So
shit
you're
don't sound real.
Eh.
The shit sound like a fake art.
so you're
It's
telling
not
me
real.
they could take like a panels from like books and like take little shots in between them and make it look like it's moving, tricking the human eye with illusion?
While also not respecting workers' rights, you know?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Man.
That's awesome. There's one
Yeah.
thing I hate. It's workers having rights.
That's true. You
Yeah,
are a
how
Trump
dare they.
supporter.
That is true.
But anyway, continue with your story. We'll try not to interrupt.
So yeah, Uzumaki. The story itself it feels like a kind of like a slice of life, but everything is just really spiraling out of control, and just a lot of things are just going crazy. Things are going insane. Nothing really makes sense in this little town. First, it
Mhm.
starts off with this guy's dad, who just goes absolutely insane over the idea of spirals, which is just it sounds a little silly, but the way that Junji Ito just displays this story and just shows it to the audience, and like his art, it's truly like a masterpiece, and it's really sad to see like how many studios just can't seem to get his adaptations right, like in the slightest.
Oh,
Like
well,
that first episode of Uzumaki, perfect.
Beautiful. Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
go back to that. Let's go back to that. Let's go back to that. Because I think that first episode was really good. You know what I mean?
That first
It's
episode was
actually-
Yeah.
incredible.
It
It
was
really good.
amazing.
The whole
It was.
stuff's phenomenal. I was like stunned. You know what I mean? Like it literally like looks like the manga.
Yeah.
And then
And then episode 2 came out, and
It just
It's
derailed the
so-
entire.
It-
Any hope I had for this production went straight down the toilet with episode 2.
yeah. Which
this
I think me and Tribe both know like kind of the reason why. Tribe, do
Yeah.
you want to talk about why there was such a stark contrast in how the
Well,
quality of the
essen-
episodes?
essentially what happened was is that they had finished up. I think it was like they finished up the first episode, but COVID had fucked up like the production schedule, and on top of that, on top of COVID, there was a regime change at Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers didn't. The new regime at Warner Brothers didn't see how the show would be like economically viable, so they basically gave the team three options. It was either they cancel it and they never released the first episode. They released the first episode, but that's all they make, or they keep the first episode and then they make the last three with an extremely reduced budget, and the team went with option 3,
And that's really unfortunate
and it
because
changed. Yeah, and it switched directors, it switched an entire studio.
and like you think that with it just being 4 episodes, the production wouldn't change too badly, you know, but
yeah, no, it absolutely there's like
It's probably some of the
'Cause,
worst
when you
like
read-
looking.
what's that one part of them on the beach? The way that they just like walk.
They
across-
like slide them,
not
they
even
slide them
walking, it's
across. They slide them across
slide
the
across.
sand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this
that's
is like
how
season 1 Invincible levels of like.
Mm.
But even like
it's like
then it has like some peaks. I'm sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
it's okay.
Yeah,
I was just gonna like say that it's kind of like those TikToks that I make in like literally one day levels of animation.
Yeah,
Like I'm not saying I'm completely bad at what I do, but it's like some of those you can tell I really just made in one day.
yeah. Also,
Yeah.
you can tell like usually when like something has like more quality put into it, and as opposed to like when something is like rushed and crunch.
Dare I say even soul.
Or
Mm.
soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like they like released this on purpose as like a way to like to say something? I don't know. 'Cause it's just kinda,
No.
like
No,
feels-
I think it's entirely like
It's because they had to.
yeah.
And it's really
I would-
unfortunate that this is not the only production that's been like kind of screwed over by David Savsov's new regime.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
not also, it's not even just like
I don't even think it's the first time like an Adult Swim produced anime has gone like had production issues, right?
Fully Cooley.
Yeah,
like
fully cool.
Yeah.
like all the
And,
fully after the first Fully Cooley, like pretty much all of them had, I'm pretty sure, had production issues of some kind.
yeah.
And like it's not just pieces of like work of art that don't have like necessarily like big names attached to it, which Junji Ito is a big name, but not necessarily in like the Hollywood space. Zaslav, how do you even say his name actually?
Zaslav.
Zaslav.
Zasla, I think. Yeah.
Zasla. Zasla is also like screwing over like longtime collaborators with Warner Bros. The new Clint Eastwood movie is only airing in 50 theaters. In Clint Eastwood,
Yeah.
has been like one of like Warner Bros. Like longest running collaborators. Always earning back money on his productions and earning money for the studio, and this genius just
He's like, let's just dump it in 50 theaters and
Yeah.
run it for only a week.
Yeah, which the last Clint Eastwood movie didn't break even, but you also got to remember that I'm pretty sure that movie released in 2021, where
The
Yeah.
last movie.
like hardly any movies that were making any money besides Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Yeah, but besides like the whole production issues with Uzumaki's anime, besides all that, the story of Uzumaki is really compelling. Like the more you read into it, the more you're just drawn into the story, the more it just drags you into the center of it all.
Yeah, it's a very like compelling like read. It's almost like when you start out the book, it's like you're at the starting point of a spiral, and as you read, you just keep on getting further and
It's like you're
further
getting more lost
into the spiral itself.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you if this is something you extrapolated from the book, because I've read Uzumaki like ages ago, but something I recently realized like while watching the anime is that like it seems like a lot of the fears of like the main two characters of the book kind of like parallel like two young people like living in a small town and being afraid that like they're never gonna like leave that small town, and
Yeah.
something sort of like trap them.
She says is, let's ditch this small town because the people here are going crazy.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
people here are like getting lost in hysteria. They're like spiraling out of control. You know, is that something you
Yeah.
kind of picked up on too, Bumba? Or
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's very explicit with what it kind of like displaying with its themes and stuff of
Mhm.
just like trying to like not atrophy with the world that you're born into,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
still being consumed by it regardless because you can't seem to escape the cycle or spiral.
You can't escape the cycle. And the point where you could have escaped the cycle, you were like hesitant to because you didn't want to leave people behind.
Yeah, because you had family, and like not that that's a bad thing, but it's like you're kind of inhibiting yourself from progressing or becoming a better person because of it.
It for me at least is by far like my favorite Junji Ito piece. Like
I still really like Hellstar Remina. That's still my favorite story. But Uzumaki is really good.
I haven't read that, but like out of like his I don't want to say all his long running stuff because I haven't read like some of it. But in terms of like Tomy, what's the fish one called?
Gale.
Gale.
Gayo, yeah,
Gale.
and Gayo. Uzumaki is like definitely my favorite.
Gale.
Gayo.
I think Gale When Fish Attack is probably like one of my personal favorites. It's just really weird.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because it's just like, what if fish was walking? That's scary, right?
What if they built tech?
Because
But-
fish is not supposed to. Fish is not supposed to walk.
And what if
That
they
was- yeah.
what if they make what if you're you see the whole thing with Spiral is it like well, not Spiral with Uzumaki's like the big like thing the fear thing is spirals, but with Gaio it's not even like fish. It's what if gas is like lethal.
Yeah, it was more the lethal gas that was the big threat if anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which if you haven't read it, you wouldn't know that, but like
Yeah.
cause, like you know the fish iconography is like covered throughout that book.
But
no,
there's something a
But it's like
lot
it's the
grosser.
gas,
There's
and
something
what happens when you held the gas, you get
The
big
gassy
and round
general.
and green.
You
You
get
get
big and
big
round,
and round
like-
and green.
Yeah, no, it's very gross. But
No.
I like the shark spider. The shark bot was cool. The little shark one with the legs.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, can you imagine if a shark just had fucking
Even
legs?
if,
That would
Even if Junji Ito's story isn't like the best like Ren thing, it will always have really good visuals regardless.
Oh yeah.
yeah. He
Yeah.
is a great artist. He's an amazing artist.
hmm
It's just a shame that none of his art can be translated into like in any meaningful way.
Yeah.
Into
I
like
think that honestly really
like a
says
TV
something, to be
or
honest.
movie medium. Which
Yeah.
I think
And see, I think the thing is that I feel like his work is so like it like uses the medium of
So, like-
manga to like it's such a degree that like I feel like that translating it into like a movie
Anything else is
or like
kinda
an anime, you lose something
yeah.
when you do
Yeah,
that.
like I said, there is no. What you say about Spiral? It's like reading like you're going crazy. You know what
It's
I mean?
like
Getting
yeah,
more
it's like
and more
it's
involved
very
into it.
yeah. It's very slow.
You know what I mean? When you first
Depending
read
on-
it,
it's very slow. It's like the tension
it's
is
just-
building up.
yeah,
Yeah.
the tension slowly builds up as you read it. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
feels like you're going crazy as all the characters are.
But I
You don't
will
get that
say,
from any other media. Like it's fine, but you know what I mean? That
Yeah.
that same tension isn't like
I feel like
the
the really
same.
like there's no escape point of it is when the hurricane comes into town.
mhm.
Yeah.
It's just like the moment that you see that hurricane hit ground and pick up fuck, I forgot her name, but I don't know why I'm blanking.
Miss Spiral.
Miss
Kitty.
Spiral.
Kitty. Yes, Kitty.
Kiri, yeah, Kiri.
That once it picks up Kitty, you think the story is just gonna end, but nope.
No,
It's
still
been
go.
right
Yeah.
back out because the spiral's not done with it running its course.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Evil
Is
ass
there, like-
Spiral.
there are no changes at all, right? Like it's translated the exact same every episode, right?
There's-
there-
it's
some
Not
changes.
really. The
There-
adaptation of it, since it's only 4 episodes for a manga that's 20 chapters, they really have to crunch the story. Really,
Yeah. It's
There's
a lot.
21
It's very-
chapters.
It's very condensed. You
It's
can be that
Very- it kind of doesn't lend itself well to like leading itself into the other stories very well.
Mhm.
Because she could just be running around town and all that, but like it also kind of like ignores a lot of the setup around those stories and like why they're
Yeah.
as good as they are, and also kind of forgets Suichi's whole like I'm going insane part, which I feel
Yeah.
is fundamental to the
The
story of
yeah.
manga, because it's just like the one guy that like knows that everything's going wrong, thinking that he could get out of it when
He
he
can't.
just slowly succumbs to the craziness of it all.
Yeah, the spiral.
Yeah.
And like it would make the moment of him eating the snail people a lot more poignant when it happens if they like actually like adapts that well in the anime. But like when it happens in the anime, you're just kind of like, oh, okay.
Mhm.
I
but
feel like it would have, if it was like 10 episodes, and like the quality of animation was a lot more spread out,
Mhm.
it would have been a very good like 7 out of 10 at the best.
I feel like even at 6 episodes, it would have like helped out a lot.
Yeah, no, it should have been a little bit longer. I think
Because part of me
maybe-
kind of like liked the idea of trying to like make the stories a little interconnected with the anime, but it's just the fact that like everything happens too quick. It doesn't have any chance to like breathe or like give any of these moments like its proper chance. Like the Jack in the Box story, in the anime, is just
Yeah.
like
It happens so
They kind of they barely even touched that. I think it honestly would have been a lot better had they just not.
if they just hadn't done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will say that first episode is probably like the closest we'll ever get to like
A
properly,
faithful adaptation.
properly
Yeah.
adapting Junji Ito's work.
Junji-
Because I'm not gonna lie, after the first after I heard about the second episode, I kind of was not watching this, so like I still just
Yeah.
have just that
After I saw it,
perfect
second
vision in
episode,
my eye.
I'm not watching it.
Yeah,
I
saw a
watched
couple
the
of second
entire
episodes.
thing, and I
I saw the second
regret it.
episode. I saw a couple of second episode. And I was like, I can't ruin the idea
I-
of this for me. You know what I mean?
I feel
the
like
idea.
the third episode did redeem itself a little bit with the whole like hospital thing. It felt like a lot more consistent
That
than like
first
the
episode
past
just so
episodes.
could have been it. Like it breaks my heart so much how good that first episode is.
Yeah, the hospital stuff you can condense into a singular episode, but the thing is,
Yeah,
they don't just do the hospital stuff. They do like more than
The
they should.
hurricane.
Yeah.
Mm.
I will say though, apparently like the live action Uzumaki movie is really good as well, or at least
Yeah, it's not too bad.
At least it's fine. Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
feel like it's very like no one watches it or talks about it all that much.
Mm.
Because I don't think it
It's
adapts
fine.
all of it. I think it just adapts the first like 10
Yeah.
chapters.
Well, I mean,
It's a little-
it's an
yeah.
hour and a half, so
Yeah.
it
Which-
has the same amount of like time to work as the anime did, which is crazy.
Mm.
Which, how did they see that and then be like, oh yeah, let's give them the same amount of time, even though a lot of people say this isn't like a very faithful adaptation.
I think if it wasn't for Zavlov, I think maybe the anime would have had 6 episodes. But mostly just because Fooly Cooley had 6 episodes. Like almost every iteration of Fooly Cooley has 6 episodes.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's just that first episode is just like, I don't know, really sad.
It's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's very unfortunate seeing that.
Took so long to make, and it's just kind of just nothing.
Yeah, fucked
I
up.
get it. I get it. You know, things it just really sucks that people just got kind of like screwed over working on
Yeah.
this.
What I
Took,
think is
like,
just like
took
very sad about
years.
like it's a common thing with all Junji Ito stories is that like no one has a happy ending.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
like I get it goes with the whole theme of like, oh, had they just went with their instincts initially and escaped when they had the chance, they could have had a good life. It's very unfortunate. It's very good like eldritch horror.
Mm-hmm.
No, definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely better than that white guy who can't seem to not think about black people for more than 5 minutes while he was still alive.
Michael Rappaport?
Yeah, Michael Rappaport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's dead by the time this episode comes out.
Yeah, let's hope so.
All right, Invisible Man. Who you touching next?
I didn't like that you touched me like that, Invisible Man. You know I'm transgender. You know I don't like people touching that, man.
Uh-oh. I think the Invisible Man's rubbing Blade's shoulder.
Get off me! Get off! Get off! Get off! Get off!
You putting fingers in his ass.
Okay.
Your
yeah,
fist out
so-
there. Invisible Man.
Yeah, Blade, you get your finger out of the Invisible.
Okay, so I read a couple books. I read a lot of things, a lot of spooky things, a lot of different stories,
Mhm.
tales. You know,
Let's-
a lot of things. I've mostly been reading. This Gotham City has Batman, Robin, all the different Bat family members, but there's one character that they always forget: Simon Dark. And you might be wondering, who the hell is Simon Dark?
I was
Well,
wondering
Simon Dark
that.
is Gotham's darkest vigilante because he kills people and blah blah blah. It's his old
Is he
book.
black?
No, it's
So
so
I guess he
it's-
isn't the darkest.
So is he like
very.
he's
That's
dark?
funny.
He's dark like goth and like emo.
Yeah, he's gothic. Yeah, so basically, a cult killed a whole bunch of boys and did a sacrifice on their body, and that's how Simon Dark was born. And he's the product of that. He's trying to figure out how to stop this cult and learn how to be human.
Mhm.
This book takes place in Gotham. That's like the really funny thing about it. But he's like supposed to be like an old Gotham folk tale that come to life, and he has to learn how to and he kills people with like piano wire and stuff. And like this weird like doll mask. Throughout the book, you're following this lady who like bumps into him, and I think she's like an officer. She's like documenting when she meets him and stuff. Throughout the book, you're also following Simon Dark. Simon Dark, he's I like him. I'm not saying the book's amazing, but the whole point is that he's literally been he's born literally the same issue as you read it. He was like born after the sacrifice, so he's just he's a blank slate. Also, he likes cats.
Who
Loves
doesn't like cats
eating
though?
Cat food. He likes cat food too. He's weird.
Who doesn't like cat food?
Yeah, but
yeah, I love eating my cat's food.
Yeah, Tribe eats cat food all the time.
Yeah, it's fucking delicious. Why are you guys?
But
you guys
a lot
fucking
of
bring
the
this up
book-
again?
It's
I'm not-
Simon, like I said, reading.
No, no. Hold on, Brian. I told you that it was just one fucking time, and it was because I had $15 in my goddamn bank account. I couldn't fucking afford DoorDash, man. I told you that. Fucking Brian.
You know,
and
you don't
Yeah, I
always
think
have to
you
wait
I
for
think
it,
you
but
stop
just
like
walk
buying so much
for
DoorDash. I think that's the problem. Like you need to
No,
learn how to budget.
No, I fucking don't. Please don't make me budget. Please don't make me
I think
learn
you need
how
to
budget.
get out of that chair and go outside a little bit, Tribe, and
No,
Yeah, just
you know,
walk
you're being
to the
kind. You know
Walmart
what? You're being
and buy
kind
your
of.
fucking food.
You're
Exactly.
being kind of a fucking dick right now. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, you know what?
And you're a cracker, by the way. You're a
That is-
honky ass
that is
cracker,
true.
and I don't need to fucking listen to you.
That is true. Blade, can you tell Tribe to like go get out of his chair and go buy his food?
I'm
Don't
not
you
getting
listen?
involved.
Don't listen
I'm
to
not
that
getting
white
involved.
boy. Don't
I'm not
listen to
getting
that white
involved
boy.
in your guys'
Yeah.
problem
listen
here.
to
I'm
Don't
not.
listen to
I'm
that
not
white
involved in
demon.
this.
Your
But,
women will not control me, Ryan.
Oh,
Do you just say that to any white
I'm
man
not gonna
that
let
just
it
take a
happen.
shower?
But
Tribe?
also,
you weren't,
that
you weren't
white
calling me a white demon in that hotel room. You was calling me a white angel.
No, I wasn't. You're making shit up.
but also,
You-
another thing about Simon Dark is that there's an old Gotham rhyme about him. Lurks in the shadows, hides in the park. Simon, Simon, Simon Dark. If you're good, he'll stay away. If you're bad, he'll make you pay. Lurks in the shadows, hides in the park. Simon, Simon, Simon Dark.
I loved Simon Dark part. That's great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's great. It's phenomenal, right?
somebody got lazy at the end.
You could tell like a child made this nursery rhyme.
Yeah,
I
gave
a
appreciate
pass
that. Who's the creative team on Simon Dark?
It's Scott Hamilton and Steve Niles. Oh yeah, Scott Hamilton also did Night Cries.
That's
Oh,
cool.
Yeah.
What night?
If you guys want another spooky thing to talk about or watch, well, if you guys want another spooky thing to watch for Halloween,
I mean, it's not really. It's not. It's like scary and more in like
a real
the
way.
yeah,
horrors
it's not,
of,
yeah, it's
of
not,
real
it's
life.
not, yeah, it's not really.
yeah.
But-
Well, we'll not get into it
but-
here because there's also a perfect video on the subject, so that you can watch.
Yeah.
Made by our good friend Blake, the comic nerd, who uploads a video every 1.5 years.
Almost as much as we upload podcast episodes.
But yeah, what's gonna happen? What's gonna
sometime.
happen first? Was a new Comic Kitchen episode or a new Blade the Comic Nerd video? Let's
Well, I mean,
let's find out.
Depends how fast I can get that thumbnail done.
exactly. Anyway, sorry.
But,
You keep on going.
But no, I have a perfect video breaking down Batman Night Cries, which is another horrifying book, but maybe not in the way you want to read for Halloween. But yeah, it is scary. But yeah, no, I think I've read a couple of Steve Niles stuff, but I actually really do like Simon Dark's design. It's like kind of like I said, he has like a weird like it's like a mask with his face. They don't hold up.
Is it like what type of mask? Is it kind of like Jim Carrey's The Mask, or is it kind of like Dream's mask?
It's like a weird like,
Ryan, that joke is so old.
I know.
That-
I know, but I like mentioning Dream because I still
looks
think it's
like-
funny.
It looks like Slipknot, right? Like the band looks like one of the guys' mask. I forgot the guy's his name.
Slip.
No, like the rock band.
Yeah.
Is that his name?
I thought it was like a duo, like Slip and Knot.
I think it is.
How long does this book like last?
12 issues.
12 issues. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was gonna be like something like similar to like X-Man over at Marvel, which is about like the alternate universe version of Cable that lasted for like almost 100 issues.
No, it's very quick.
Okay.
But throughout the book, we kind of Simon. We see Simon is also he has like a weird like that is his face. Like there's a part where he takes off the mask and like he looks it's the exact same.
Mm-hmm.
Hold up. But yeah, the occult killed a whole bunch of boys, and then he's a combination of all like their souls or whatever. It's a weird book, and a lot of things don't really get like ever answered that much. It's kind of just left to interpretation. And I'm gonna be honest, I like that. Not everything's really like told to you. Simon does have the cult. It's a good book, but you know what I mean. It is kind of just like you see why it's 12 issues. I still do really like it. Still a really fun mystery. I love.
Oh, sorry.
What's the
No,
mystery
I
at the center of it? I'm just curious.
slowly figuring out Simon's origin and slowly finding out Simon is like human, finding him becoming human throughout the book. You know, like interacting with people.
Oh, gotcha.
It is very cool. I don't know. Despite, so it sounds like I am kind of like giving it shit, but it's like no, I'm not. I also really do love the art.
I do think more stories should like practice not saying everything to the reader
Yeah.
automatically at the beginning because it helps more brings them along with the story if you don't tell them right away.
No, I like being
also,
told everything up front. I like being told what I should think and feel, and when I'm like
and
consuming
this is
media.
this is like a me thing, but I always love when like stories take place in Gotham. We never see Batman.
Gotham
just
is
a
like
cool
a
thing to
very
me.
place, honestly, if you think about
Yeah,
it. Like,
it's a big place. I feel like it just makes sense, you know?
well, people like
Batman-
always like think of like Batman as like the one figure in Gotham, but not. Besides it being like the home of Simon Dark, it's also the home of like all the Batman and Jason characters. But it's also like the city of the first Green Lantern. People tend to forget that.
Alan Scott
Yeah.
and Solomon Grundy. You know, so
It's also
like,
Solomon Grundy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like it has a
Like
lot of
deep.
history. Yeah, it's a very deep history.
Mhm.
And if you want to be like technical, you know, the mob, you know, Falcone and the Moronis, you know, so that is like
That's a little bit different though, because they're like,
it's a little, I know what you mean, but you know what I mean, it has tied history to it. Like there's
Yeah.
more than just Batman behind it, you know what I mean? There's this long history behind Gotham. Like what was it, Gotham Year One, right? I think that goes a bit more into some of that stuff.
it goes into Gotham's history a little bit, yeah.
But you
I'm
know
not
what
sure.
I mean.
I'm
You know
not
what I
sure if
mean?
it's canon though. Gotham Year One.
I don't think it is.
I don't know. It's kind of like Schrodinger's canon, specifically
Like
that
I don't even
book
think
is.
Simon Dark is canon anymore.
It's probably not.
It isn't.
Most of like Tom King's
would
like
love to see-
Maxi series aren't canon, but I think Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, and Gotham Year One are kind of like Schrodinger's canon, whether they're canon or not. I think Woman of Tomorrow is technically canon. I'm not sure
Mhm.
about Gotham City Year One.
I think there is some other Simon Dark books. I could be wrong. Actually, no, I don't think there is. Oh, yeah, throughout the end of the book, Simon has two other friends, monsters, minions of hell. He meets some like monster guys, and it's just like I love. One of them looks like a weird like, you know, like Quasimodo, like the beat maker. It's like that.
Yeah.
Looks like him, but he's like fucked up looking.
Interesting.
I still like it. I actually would love to see Simon Dark return. I love to see another writer take this character, have their own little spin on it. Cause I feel like there's so much untapped potential right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's just like a gold mine waiting. I'm thinking. I still do like the original idea. You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to give everything away because I feel like it's a big part of the story is you unveiling this mystery. Cause I kind of just like said it already. You know, like that's kind of the. That's what I
But how am I gonna know if the story's good if I don't know what happens till the end?
That's why you read it,
That's why you read it.
or you can look it up on Wikipedia. We're not sure.
Yeah, you
Parents.
can do that too. Yeah, I
Or
just
you just have
gave
a
you.
storytime YouTuber just tell me the entire plot.
Yeah. I just gave you the most important details that I think that are important to what you should know, and also if you want to check it out. But also, it's very violent. Like I said, Simon Dark, he like takes people off a piano wire, he stabs people. Like I said, he doesn't really know what he's doing is wrong. He has the mind of a child throughout the book. That's like a very well known thing. And it's slowly kind of realizes
crazy strength.
Mhm.
pretty much. Like the late talker was like, he acts like a child. He like I said, he technically is, you know, soul of all these children. So like he has the mind of a child. He doesn't know really what he's doing. It's a very weird book, but I definitely would love to see, like I said, this character return and have someone else do something with it. Do you have a writer in mind? I don't know actually. I can maybe see like James Tynion actually doing something fun with Simon Dark. That'd be really cool.
That is.
I also
interesting.
have another James Tynion book I could talk about later, but we'll get to that
Yeah.
after this.
Let's see who
Uh,
the Invisible Man's touching
Yeah,
next.
stop touching me, man.
Yeah.
Please. Thank you.
I think you need to get your finger out of his butthole though. Like,
No, I
Yeah.
won't do that.
yeah, I don't know why you just kept it in there.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a little weird. Not that it's weird, I guess, but at least weird that you just kind of just stuck it in there. Anyway, Tribe.
Yeah.
All right.
That
That's
was
enough.
the Invisible Man hadn't even touched you yet. You started.
Yeah, why are you sticking off in the fire, man? You better make that shit go out.
Did you want him to touch you? What was that about?
I don't know.
He's not touching you anymore after that.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
I think he ran
I think
off.
Just standing over- Yeah, he's just
Mm,
scared.
You
bye,
scared
bye.
him.
I did. Oh. So,
Like,
what were we talking about? Oh, yeah, we was talking about comics, right?
Yeah. What do you mean? What was he talking
Okay.
about?
Okay, so the book I'm talking about is the book Ice Cream Man by W. Maxwell Prince, and the interiors are done by Martin Morazzo. I think it's how you pronounce it. It's an anthology series. It's like existential horror stories, and they're all connected by this ice cream man.
This tale, I'm guessing more like a Tales of the Crypt type creature.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
If that character's like had a more active role in the story.
Yeah, we don't know. Yeah, no, it's left ambiguous if he's the one causing like these stories to happen, or if he's just like malevolent force. I don't know why I fucked up that word.
Malevolent figure.
Yeah, we don't know if he's a malevolent figure or if he's just kind of just like we call it. He's kind of just there when it happens. It gets a little more. I don't want to give away too much, but it does get a little more in depth as to who or more importantly, what the ice cream man is.
Are you gonna talk about the cable stuff a little bit?
What's up?
Are you gonna talk about the cable stuff a little bit?
The cable stuff?
Man in Black.
Yeah, the Man in Black. Yeah. So he has a brother. His name is I believe it's just
Cable.
was his brother? Is his brother's name?
Right?
Or Nathan Summers. I guess that's Cable's actual name, like Cable Summers.
Where are you?
Like you talking about in the book, right?
Yeah,
You're talking about
like Cable,
yeah. I'm trying because like I'm trying.
I thought it was Cable, like in the Bible name. I thought it was, but I could be wrong.
His name is like blanking on me.
Like Cable, like the Bible name, that's Cain and Abel.
Cain. Yeah, I don't. But they call him the Man in Black. Just call him the Man in Black. He's the ice cream man. Man in Black. He's
pretty much like a gunslinger, like an old west gunslinger. And he's like a good force. And it's also it's a pretty experimental book too, because it plays around with conventional comic book storytelling. There's an issue that's called Neapolitan.
Oh, it's good.
Is it called
Neapolitan?
Yeah, Sweet Neapolitan, and it's like the story. It's like a story. The story's happening like simultaneously.
Yeah,
three
the
different
guy
stories happening simultaneously.
Basically the guy has 3 different choices from each different ice cream he gets. I think it's like chocolate,
vanilla. It's the
strawberry. I remember strawberry was like strawberry. He'd bump into a woman, they'd fall in love, they'd get married, have a kid. The baby would die and ruin their marriage. It would end like that.
Yeah.
And then the vanilla one, he found a dog. They had he fell in love with the dog. They grew together. I think he moved. He got like legal trouble or something with the dog, right? He had to move away.
Yeah.
And he lived with the dog for like the rest of his life. And I think the chocolate one was just like everything went to shit.
Yeah, everything went to shit, and like he's being like a monster gets him.
Yeah,
like somebody tortures him.
So what exactly is the ice cream man? Like, do they ever say what he is? Like, because he's not a guy.
Is he made of ice cream?
Yeah, he's not a guy. He's they say he's like older. He's like a dimensional being who's like older than like the universe itself.
Yeah.
Wow, the Invisible Man just reappeared. Wow.
Yeah.
They're no longer invisible.
Yeah, but they don't want to talk though. They're still being a baby, big fucking baby. They don't want to talk.
But you was talking about the ice cream man being like
older than time itself.
Older than time yourself. If you want to like.
Yeah, no, I don't want to give too much away, but he's a dimensional being who is like evil.
So who's the Man in Black?
That's his brother, and he's supposed to be a force for good. And they there's actually a really sweet story involving him. Well, he's not like it's like it's a story about a girl who gets pregnant, but she doesn't want the baby, so she has to think about getting an abortion. And it's set like during Christmas.
Ooh.
So like she spends all the entire Christmas season thinking about, oh, do I want the baby? Do I not? And there's a lot of lush symbolism and shit. But at the end of the story, you see the Man in Black is the doctor who helps her, and it's really sweet.
I remember really liking the second issue where it's like
the one with the couple, the crackhead couple.
Yeah,
and he steals that issue is really good.
Yeah, it feels like an old like I said, Tales from the Crypt sort of thing, where she steals the ice cream man's car to get some drugs or something. like crashes it, and like he's mad as fuck, but he's just like, you know what? I got a whole bunch of dough for you to take. You can save it. Like, but she's doing okay. But I forgot to mention context. Her boyfriend's ODing. He's gonna die. You know what I mean? So she's trying to do this to like save him, and he's like, I'm offering you the best dope in your life. You can take it or give it to your boyfriend.
Yeah.
When the book ends, it cuts to cops breaking in, and she OD'd from it.
But the boyfriend is like,
the boyfriend's fine. He made a safe recovery actually.
Yeah, he recovery, and then he decides he goes to rehab and like fixes his life.
Yeah, but she decided to take the stuff the Ice Cream Man gave her and killed her.
Yeah.
Maybe if the Ice Cream Man offered me drugs, I probably wouldn't take them either. But whatever.
Why the Ice Cream Man?
It's also like it's not strictly either a horror book either. It's very like it plays with like genres a lot. Like there's one that's like basically like like Superman, like All-Star Superman. It emulates like Frank Quitely's like art style, like the coloring and everything. It's all that one's fucked up too. There's also one where it's like an old washed up music one hit wonder who like he's like old and he made a song when he was like in his 20s, and like he tried to like make another hit song, but he was never able to like find it. So he goes on like an adventure with like a bunch of like song characters from songs, and they're like, oh, you have to write a new song to save the world. And he does, but he doesn't. He just sings the same song. And it's like a story about like peaking early.
But also like my thing with Ice Cream is like I said, he is while he is a force of like bad, I do think he's more like says a bit more malevolent. You know what I mean? Because like he doesn't. Yeah. That's what the story. It's more just like the guy isn't like a bad guy. You know, he's not killing everyone. He's more just like giving people ice cream. But it's just more like it's more they're if you're a bad person, you know what I mean? Yeah, something's gonna happen. But it's like his morals are he's benevolent. You know.
Yeah,
like he does help people sometimes. I'm not saying all the time, but usually it's more just like the bad people are the ones who get in trouble by him. You know, like the drug addict girl.
What's the? I'm just curious. Is there like an overarching like thematic through line between all these like anthology stories besides like the Ice Cream Man?
The character.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the through line is that it's kind of it's very existential. It's about like your it's a lot of people like contemplating like their place in the world, or like to them like what it means to like be alive.
Yeah, to be
alive. Like what their purpose is per se, I guess.
Yeah. A lot of he's like, why are we doing what we do?
Yeah, what is the meaning?
Why are we what is it that makes us human?
That's
what is the purpose?
Because like
that's
really interesting because like my book also that like proposes like that quite like almost that exact question, but I'm not going to get into that
because it's like I think something that's there's an issue that's basically the reverse of Kafka's Metamorphosis, where it's a cockroach that turns into a human, and like the cockroach is like learning like what it means to be human, and he's like, oh man, being a human fucking sucks.
But I was gonna say, big.
I miss when I was finding eating garbage with my friends.
A big part of Ice Cream Man is like said, humans wanting to be greater than themselves, when Ice Cream Man is just likes making ice cream. You know, his simple happiness compared to like people like because a big part of Ice Cream Man is like some people like. I think there's like one like issue 4. It's like about a father. This guy, his wife pregnant, and like he's thinking about like walking out on her because he's just like he doesn't know if he's ready.
Yeah, as one usually does.
His friend, and he's going to like his friend's funeral. His friend named Chris like killed himself. Wasn't that really good of a guy? But it's this bit where his dad's like, I wonder where he is right now, and it cuts to him in hell with the Ice Cream Man. It just cuts. He's like throwing like a dartboard at him. So fucking funny.
It's great.
But no, it is like it's a big part of like existentialism and like like I said, what are we? What are we doing here? Because like a big part of Ice Cream is like a lot of people are like, not everyone is selfish in it, but like a lot of people in the book who get punished are people who have like not big things in life, but like have already pursued enough in life, you know what I mean? But want more and get punished by just one that greed, you know?
Yeah, it's also like it's a very emotional book too. I felt myself like almost like I found myself like very emotional like at the end of some of these stories. It's a very it has a lot of heart too.
Yeah. It's one of those books where I don't think it's very interesting. Like I said, I'm
Yeah,
liking where it's going.
it's very it's also like it's kind of like a hard to explain book too. It's just
Yeah,
kind of
and like I said,
something you kind of have to.
it starts off as a horror, but I think it's one of the things where like it branches off so much more. Where I feel like it can just be kind of anything at this point.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. It's honestly it's honestly a hard to explain book. It's just like it's something you kind of just have to experience for yourself.
But it does start off as like a horror. At least that's the idea of it.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
think it does branch off.
Yeah, it
completely
does.
more.
There's like a yeah, like I said, there's a Superman pastiche. There's a the Watchmen pastiche.
Yeah.
There's one that's like basically like an interview that's like you're reading like different interviews of like after like a horrible event, and you're basically like it's going between like the interview and then like the event like happening. And there's one that's like it's like a set of instructions, and it's like about being a ghost and how like you don't how people don't notice you.
But I really do think I think you really do think what was the issue? What was that's issue 3, right? Sweet Neapolitan.
No, I don't believe Sweet Neapolitan was a issue 5. I think it was
Is this issue 5?
I think it's issue. I think it might be
it was 3.
issue 7 is
7?
Sweet Neapolitan.
I do recommend whoever, if you ever read Ice Cream Man, I do highly recommend checking it out. I feel like that's like my favorite one. It just kind of shows you how much Ice Cream Man can be, just as like a story, and it's really fun.
Yeah,
I'm really
because there's also one called Palindromes, which is you can read the story like backwards or forwards.
Kind of like what's the one story that Morrison did for Multiversity? That's Pax Americana.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I like I really do like Ice Cream Man. It feels it is very Lovecraft inspired, but I do feel like it's doing something a lot different than that.
Yeah.
You know?
I've only read the first issue of Ice Cream Man. I own like a physical copy of it. I don't necessarily remember like what happens in it, but I remember like really enjoying it. So I'll try at some point to like give like more
At
issues
least
to
get to
read.
Sweet Neapolitan. I feel like you would like that one. That's
it's a great issue.
One. Because that kind of like opened my eyes to be like, okay, they're trying to do something more with this. So I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah.
But since the Invisible Man is no longer touching us at the campfire to pick who's next, I think I guess I'll go next and talk about the book. The book I read.
The Invisible Man didn't want to touch your freaky ass anyway.
Yeah, I'm a little sad. I guess a tribe, like just coming all over the place, kind of like scared him away.
That didn't happen.
Tribe, why did you come on the Invisible Man?
I didn't. It went into the fire, I think.
Nah, that shit landed on his arm. I saw that.
So what have you been reading, Ryan?
The book I read, it's not really as horror as it's not really the typical like horror story in the sense of like. Well, I mean it is horror, but it's not like usually typical Halloween horror story. It doesn't have like any goblins or ghouls, and have like any ethereal figures that are manipulating everything behind the scenes. Well, it doesn't have like an Ice Cream Man persona or like the spiral god of Uzumaki or whatever is controlling, causing all that to happen. Uzumaki. But the book I chose to read was Fire Punch, and I'll try and paint a picture of how of the environment that like the characters inhabit. So the book starts out with in a snowstorm, and this young man is carrying this young girl on his back, and they collapse, and like as they collapse, the boy is like saying, "Please, God, have mercy. We at least have mercy on my sister Luna." Anyway, and then we cut to black, and then we get the text, "The frozen yearn for the fire," and then we get a panel of that same boy holding his arm against a stump, getting ready to have his arm chopped off.
Oh.
And the person who's chopping off his arm is his sister. And the boy's like, "Just do it, Luna. I can take it." And then Luna, his sister, chops his arm off. And then he starts screaming and he's like, "Ah, it hurts, ah!" But then we see the boy, whose name is Agni, regrows his arm. and we learned that both him and his sister have like regeneration powers, and like we also learned that like people in this world, some people just had like innate superhuman abilities. Some have regeneration, some have like electricity powers, and some have like winter powers. And we also learned that everyone in the town believes that this continuous frozen world that's happening, like the blizzard is continuously happening. The reason why this is happening is because this ice switch is causing it to happen around the world. And we also learned that like Agni's regeneration skill like abilities are really powerful, and like he can regenerate almost like instantly. So he's also the food supply for everyone in the village. So they are constantly eating Agni's body parts to sustain themselves, to survive. Of course, there's some objectors who don't want to do that, but usually if they don't eat Agni, they just starve to death. And then we see that happen in the first volume as well. But a lot of it is just like a lot of the beginning parts is just like people being like, "Oh, thank you guys so much. We're glad we found you, because without you we would have starved to death." Ha ha ha. And and the two siblings are really like content in the world there's and Luna really doesn't want anything to happen to her brother, and she's like begging him, like, please don't leave. Listen, we'll figure out a way so you don't have to do this anymore. We will figure something out. I'm sorry.
You okay?
Yeah, no. I did. But there, and it's not, okay. But then we like flash forward a little bit in the day, and it's now nighttime, and they're both like living in the same house, and Agni has been like telling her stories of like what the world was beforehand, how water what the ocean was like, how grass feels and all that, and she like really wants to like see this world. She wishes that like someday that the ice switch would stop freezing over the world so she can experience all this. And like, as like she's saying this, she just looks to Agni, her brother, and says, will you see the world with me? And he's like, yeah, sure. And then like a little later he's like, hey, how about we make a baby together? And he's like, no, we can't do that. We're brother and sister. We just can't. He's like, why not?
I forget about that in Fire Punch.
Yeah, that's why I was laughing, because like, how am I going to explain this part?
I mean, it's unfortunately a very big thing in a lot of anime that incest just fucking happens. It's
yeah. It's but anyway, she's like, oh,
the Japanese freaky frogs.
Yeah, Fujimoto is a freaky frog.
Yeah.
But he's like, she's like, oh, we're only young people in here. Why not? Because we're related. We're not doing that. Anyway, time passes, and they're out like hunting for any other form of sustenance besides like, you know, his arm, and they find a deer. They kill the deer, and like as they're going back to the village, they see an airplane fly over them. So they make their way back to the village quickly, and we just see like an army of soldiers like crawl out of the airplane, and like Agni goes up to like this blonde dude and says, "Hey, what's going on here?" He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, young man. My name's Doma." We're just here to see if you all want to join like our little group. Do you want to join join our little city, become like part of like this unified like up and coming like nation state?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, sure. That's well, not really actually. Why don't you get out of here? We don't want you here." And he's like, okay, we'll just keep searching for a little bit, but then we'll be out of your hair." And then like one soldier's like, "Hey, there's like human flesh all over the place in this village. Like there's body parts everywhere." He's like, and they're like, "Oh," and the guy's like, "Oh, there's body parts everywhere. Okay, we're withdrawing. There's no village here." And like and then Agni's like, "Wait, there's a misunderstanding." But Doma that isn't hearing any of this. It says, "These people aren't human. And by the way, Agni, are you gifted?" because I am gifted. Are you gifted, Agni? And Agni's like, no. He just lies. And then the next page is just the charred remains of the village. Dogma has fire abilities, and they burn. His flames burn for as long as the person it's burning lives. So like, if you catch fire to that Dogma's flame, you burn until you die. So everyone in the village is dead, except for Agni, and he's screaming out in pain. Like he can't move or anything. He's just like burning. He's like, and he's just screaming like, this pain's so bad. Oh my god! Please God, help me! Like, oh, my sister! Where's my sister at? And he's like looking around for her, but he realizes that like he can control it a little bit, and he can like move around and stuff. So he starts to move around because like his regeneration is just that good, and like he's like, oh, finally! Like, okay, no, I can look for my sister. But then he like starts to think about it for a little bit. And he's like, oh wait, my mom and dad are dead. So if I just don't like regenerate, if I can control that, I can just like die and be with mom and dad. But then he finally finds Luna, and she's like, and her regeneration is significantly worse than his.
Yeah.
Like so much so, while his arm can like regenerate like almost instantaneously after it's chopped off, it takes Luna like a week for her arm to like regenerate if they chop her arm off. So she's like burning there, and like her last words are brother, and she's like choked, like barely being able to, like she's like she can barely get this out, and she just says brother, live. And like as she dies, Agni imagines his life with his sister and what could have been and what they could have shared together as brother or sister or as something else. And then she dies.
Wow.
And then like he just like screams, and the only thing he can think of now after her like last breath is Doma. So he literally like sits there for years and to like learn to reconstitute himself to such a degree that he can walk and not in the pain not like overcome him. So he starts to do that, and he starts walking just to find Doma. Across his way, he finally forms like he finally gains the ability to form a fist as he's walking. And I think he's been like burning for about 8 years at this point. He also doesn't need food because he's constantly regenerating. So like there's no need to sustain himself. So there's not even like need for that. So he's just walking. He comes across this caravan of people from the city containing like a whole bunch of like other people in cages, and he just kills all the soldiers by like either just touching him or punching him. And that's where the title comes from, Fire Punch. Like his touch he's got like a fire touch. And like I said, it's not necessarily like a typical horror book, and that the horror comes from, or like the horrific setting that they're living in, a constant frozen tundra where people are forced into like almost unrecognizable like versions of humanity, like being forced to like constantly sustain their like selves on a child's body, pretty much. The boundaries of like family kind of eroding because there's no one left. You see, and as chapters go on, you see that like the city is sustained on like other powered individuals. Like they have electricity and like heating and stuff, but it's because they all keep like all the people trapped in like tied down in like this little like bunker area, and they like just extract them for like power and stuff. And most of the like ruling elite in the city are just like the worst characters like imaginable, doing unspeakable things.
The dog.
Dog. Yeah. If you want to mention the dog, you can mention the dog.
I don't want to talk about it, but just saying it, I'll leave it to the viewer's imagination to what I mean by the dog.
Mm-hmm. Fire Punch is a book mostly about, like I said earlier, purpose. And what happens when you lose your purpose and what really it does it mean to have purpose in a world that is cruel and unforgiving.
Wow, just like real life.
Yeah, the book kind of like positions you, there's not really like a set purpose for anyone. You can make your own purpose, but it doesn't necessarily mean that like it's good or bad. It just because you there goes the Invisible Man again.
Invisible Man goes again.
The Invisible Man disappeared. Just because like you have like a goal of seeking justice for your sister does not necessarily mean it is a just cause. You are not someone looking out for revenge necessarily. It could just be like your reason to like escape, like to find an escape from having a purpose to not live. And the book posits that like you have to like in a cruel and unforgiving world you have to make your own purpose, which is exemplified in most of the side characters. Like a good chunk of the side characters in the story, and not necessarily Agni himself, because he does like think he has like a set purpose, but he soon realizes that like, oh, he doesn't. So I guess I'm just beholden to what life gives me. I'm just this thing. I am forever stuck as this thing, and that's not necessarily true. And in a world that is like completely frozen and like horrific, you got to make life. You got to make the most of life and find what you want to do, whether that be making the last movie ever or restarting the entire world so you can watch Star Wars again, because the last Star Wars sequel didn't like air in his alternate timeline. That is actually the motivation for one of the characters.
Oh, Togata, I love him.
No, not Togata. Togata's like whole motivation is like that he wants to like make the last movie ever. No, there's another character who's like, I'm just gonna like restart the world because like the last Star Wars movie never came out. And I was really excited to see it, and I never got to see it. But yeah, it's a really I hate to say it is nihilistic, because like although in a way it's a very very like grim, unforgiving setting with the idea is that like nothing really matters per se. There's no set purpose for you. It is very optimistic in the sense that like although you don't have a set purpose, you still need to keep going. You need to live. You need to find what your purpose is in life, and by that you make your own purpose.
I wonder if those themes play any factors in his latest work that he's been working on.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Nah, probably not.
Probably not.
That shit's
Nothing at
stupid.
all. Yeah.
Stupid.
You idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, of course an author wouldn't write about the same kind of concept twice. Why would he?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be silly.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, a lot of the horror is just like the environment and what the people do in that environment, and like how they react and how they are morphed into different beings.
That world is very bleak, though.
It's incredibly bleak.
Like,
But that's the thing with like a lot of Fujimoto's work. It feels incredibly bleak, but there's always like hope in that tunnel,
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's hope. Yeah.
Do we want to like
I think,
go on to our second books, or are we just kind of like we want to?
nah, I think we're good. I think I'm good with
yeah.
the time we got. So I
Yeah.
think it's just
I think if
we
you
should
want,
wrap this up.
yeah, I think if you all want to mention like other books we are planning on talking about, and just like very briefly, like maybe like 2 minutes go over them, I think that's fine.
Nice house on the lake. Basically, a whole bunch of friends go to a lake, go to this nice house on the lake with their friend invited to this party, and it reveals to them that, hey guys, the world's ended. Everyone outside this house is dead, and I'm gonna keep you alive here. I'm gonna try to keep you alive here as long as I can. I need you to not ask questions, and so basically, all these friends are invited. They're basically all these friends from like college and high school. This guy named Walter. Walter's just weird guy, but he somehow can he's really smart, always really smart, pretty much always there when someone needs something. But pretty much he has this really nice house, doesn't really have like a family. Everyone's moved on with their life, but Walter doesn't have a family, no wife, no kids, no nothing. But it has all this money. But they start to figure out Walter isn't even really a guy, he's an alien. And oh man, it's so cool. They do this, it's this cool video they do with him to show how he's an alien. So basically Walter's his flesh like warps around him. It's really freaky. Like I don't know how to explain it, but I can like pull up like a panel. But it's like anytime like he reveals his true form, his flesh like warps around him. It looks really freaky looking. But throughout the book, he shows people like stuff like that. And it's really cool, and like it's such a really cool visual. But Walter basically tells them that, hey, like, you know, the world is completely over, and I need you guys to stay here and not ask any questions. I'm trying to, you know, keep you guys alive, pretty much. So basically, throughout the book, we basically follow all his friends that grew up with him from college and high school. We follow their different connections with him, and them trying to figure out slowly why Walter's keeping secrets away from him. Really good book, great mystery. It's getting reprinted underneath DC Vertigo right now.
Because DC Vertigo's back.
The DC Vertigo is also back, which is so cool, especially, you know, done time of Halloween.
If you're looking for like if you're looking for like Halloween stuff, check out DC Vertigo.
Nice House on the Lake, the first new thing right now. It's 2 volumes. It's so good. It's probably one of my favorite books right now.
If you're more into thrillers and killers, seek out Beneath the Trees.
Mm-hmm.
It's this fun little comic about 2 serial killers that compete for a territory that belongs to neither of them but nature itself. I do really like this. If at first you're thinking, oh, we're just gonna follow the perspective of this one serial killer, when at the end of the first chapter it's revealed, nope, there's another one that's doing fucked up shit all around the town, and it's gonna get the other one caught. It's a very good like back and forth, almost kind of like Dexter in a way.
Yeah, I can see that.
I love the art. Oh, the art's so good.
Yes, it's a nice watercolor. It feels almost like a early 2000s watercolor children's book.
It's a Twisted Kids book. It's so fucked up.
Yeah.
Tribe, you got a second book?
No.
Okay. I also read Gantz.
Yeah, you don't read.
I also read Gantz recently, which in some ways I would say it's more fitting like the Halloween vibe than Fire Punch does, but it doesn't, for me it doesn't necessarily work as well as horror per se, because like a lot of it
more action.
It's more action, and a lot of the book is so ridiculous. I see it as almost like as comedy, but it does have like just the typical like Halloween antagonists. Like there's aliens in the book, there's vampires, similar themes to Fire Punch and Ice Cream Man, but a little bit different. Thematically, it's about persevering in the human spirit and trying to like live out of like weird, dire scenarios. Very entertaining book, and always keeps you on the edge of your seat because you honestly don't know what's going to happen next. It is so ridiculous, and like
great.
Almost like childishly ridiculous, but like honestly it adds to the charm of the book. The ending falls really flat though.
The ending's a bit weird.
Yeah,
I do like the alien designs quite a bit. They get really wacky.
Yeah, alien designs are great, but I still recommend reading it. It is a pretty like hard book to get through because like I'd still recommend it.
Right.
Also, isn't that the manga with the black guy saying "You aight, white boy"?
Yes.
There's a lot of parts.
There's a lot. You would be surprised like how much of like early internet culture like takes from Gantz.
Yeah, and like a lot of internet memes like that's how fun about Gantz like back in the day, because it was old internet culture comes from Gantz. It's really funny.
Mm-hmm.
But I also read another book. This is a short one. It's not done yet, but new Frankenstein book, Universal.
Yeah.
The new Universal comic, and it's Universal's Frankenstein. That's why we all have the Universal monster profile pictures.
Is it? Yeah, Halloween.
Not really, and not the comics.
Yeah, we're just kind of stretching.
It's also Halloween.
Basically, the book, it's a retelling of Frankenstein, but you're following this kid whose father's dead. But
is his name Frank?
Victor, I don't know actually, but I think they said in the newest issue. But Victor Frankenstein takes his kid's dead father and uses his hand to make Frankenstein. So the kid is like, you're like my dad, you're back, and like it's just very sad story about this kid trying to like help Frankenstein out, and like trying to figure out that Frankenstein isn't his dad anymore. But very sweet book. It still has that heart of Frankenstein. You know what I mean? Frankenstein still learning like be human. Like it's this part where he's like holding Frankenstein's hand and calls him Father Frankenstein, just looks at him, and it's such like it's a powerful moment. It's not done right now, so that's why I didn't really go into it. But I highly recommend if you want something spooky to read for the season. Also, Batman versus Wolfman's happening. Batman versus a werewolf. You know, you need a crossover story for the for the season. So
Yeah.
one right there.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we're at a point where we can close out.
Yeah.
But yeah, happy Halloween, guys. And Zion, I just want to say, the words that you said this episode truly enlightening. Some of the
Good shit.
I've never been more inspired in my life.
Honestly I am enthralled with what all you've had to say this episode. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Happy Halloween.